Shalom, this is the Beak back with another edification. I want to thank all of my subscribers. I see I gained a few followers. I want to thank my 167th subscriber. Welcome to the channel, okay, as well as the 166th and 165th and the 164th, okay. I want to wish all of my subscribers high health and high spirits, and I wish that all of my subscribers are safe and protecting their loved ones as well as themselves against these agendas that are waged against us here behind enemy lines in America. Okay. This topic today, this discussion I want to talk about is providing, and I'm gonna use the scripture, and then I'm gonna show some Western female bums that sabotage the role of providing. Okay, providing took place in the scriptures most when the Most High God Yahweh was providing for the children of Israel. Okay, and then there were the husbands and the fathers that had families through marriage that were in position to control and handle the household and the land, okay? And the comings and goings of the family worked through the men, okay? Providing has always been traditionally a male and female, duty. The females provided and the males provided. Okay, the men and the women provided in the Bible. Okay, and the Most High also provided. Okay, so let's go over this providing, and I have some content to show and some audio to listen to, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay, so first things first that I want to get into is I want to start off with let's go with Deuteronomy, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 8 and 11. It says, "Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes which I command thee this day, lest when thou hast eaten and art full and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein." Okay? "And when thy herds and thy flock multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast multiplied." Okay? "Then thine heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage." So the Most High provided the wealth, and then Deuteronomy explains how the person receiving all of this wealth from the Most High God will get the big head and forget to keep the commandments of the Most High. Okay? Now this is the providing part that I'm explaining. Okay, Deuteronomy deals with the children of Israel being delivered and reminded about the deliverance from bondage, okay? And the Most High is doing all the providing during that time. He's providing the children of Israel with a way out. He's providing the children with a route to the wilderness, and he's providing the children with food, water, okay, and he's promising them land, okay? So that's the number one provider is the Most High God, Yahweh, okay? It says 15, "Who led thee through the great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint." So the Most High provided the children of Israel with water while they were in the wilderness after being led away or delivered from Egypt, the first captivity, Egypt and so-called the land of Ham. Africa, so-called Africa, the land of Ham. Okay, so I want to point that out, the abundance, okay, of wealth and food, and the abundance of providing that the Most High will do. Okay, now cattle, food, water, family, marriage. Okay, everything there was provided by the Most High God, Yahweh. Over in Babylon, behind enemy lines here in America, the Western female, she extorts this tradition of providing by men. Okay? Now, traditional men do not desire modern day women. Modern day women or modern day females are what I regard as bums, because they're under the lost value system and their values are contrary to the standard of the Bible. Okay, deciding what type of woman is the ideal woman is all based on whether she is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of her ability, and whether she can internalize the requirements by the man that follows the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. So that's the standard. Okay, it's not just out of vain imagination that men are, created this imaginable woman that doesn't exist. Only the Western females have this imaginary man that they're constantly degrading and disrespecting in their minds, okay? These females don't even have a man, and they'll still express their nature with this man that don't exist. He doesn't even exist, and they're already talking about he need to have this, he need to have that, he need to have this, he need to have that. He better be doing this. He better be ready, willing to do this and do that and do this and do that. Okay, so that's one version of providing. Okay, and then we can get into some more providing by the husbands. Okay, let's see here. Give me 1 second, and then I'm gonna go over what you're looking at on the screen, because I'm not forgetting to promote detoxing. Okay, detoxing is a great thing. All right. Let me go to. Let's see here. Okay, let me see here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just go. Let me see. Hold up. Where is it at? John, Luke, John, Acts, Romans. Where is? Dun dun dun. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see here. Do 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 do. I'm looking in Job. Let's see here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And the answer the Lord and says, "Skin for skin, ye all that man will be in for life." Yeah, like him. Okay. I'm gonna find another version of providing. Give me 1 second, and let me go over. I'm just looking. Give me 1 second. Okay. Well, let me see. Okay. Well, we got Job. Let me see. Job, count with your usury. 1 second. 1 second. Seeing the foolish taking roots on the accursed nation. Just looking for a little thing right here. Okay. So this is chapter 2, Job chapter 2, verse 3. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. Okay. And still he holdeth fast in in and hold fast his integrate, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, the Lord Yahweh and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. Okay, so Satan is taunting the Most High by saying, Job, Job is perfect only because he has things, okay, because you've given him things, okay. So it says 7. So when Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore bites from the sole of his, or sore biles from the sole of his foot unto his crown, and he took him a post herd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Okay, let me keep going because I want to just touch on something real quick. Let me see. Anyway, the story goes that because I want to make it short because I gotta go over this content. Job had cattle, family, children. Okay, and let's see here. Man, a man fell right, daughters, feasted. Okay, here we go. Let me see this. Okay, Job chapter 1. Just to get through this real quick because this is just about providing. Job chapter 1 verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons, 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camel, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she asses, okay, donkeys, and a very great household. Now, the household, this is the providing. So men have always been traditionally in abundance of wealth and assets, okay? Now, since being over here behind enemy lines with Esau, the so-called white race, the so-called whites have made it their business to destroy any type of progress that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have accomplished over here as far as any type of independence, okay? Any type of economic independence, social independence, any type of independence, okay? So the providing has been traditionally men and women, but the men have always been in abundance of assets and wealth, traditionally, okay? Like some of our people over here in Babylon have an abundance of assets and wealth, but then that spirituality lacks. Spirituality lacks, and the values of the scriptures, the law, statutes, the commandments are not being kept. So a lot of these so-called black celebrities and wealthy individuals over here are individually wealthy, which is not us being wealthy as a nation, but they lack that spirituality, and sometimes they get knocked down because they're not keeping this law, statutes, and commandments like it mentioned in Deuteronomy. All right, getting all this wealth and all these assets in an abundance and not keeping the commandments, but the providing was traditionally through the men, and then the females would also provide for the household. So I'm gonna go into Proverbs here and show how the female or the women provided, okay, as well for their households. So this is Proverbs 32, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep it moving because I gotta get through this content. Okay, chapter 30, 31. Hold on, Proverbs 31. Let's see. Oh no, wait a minute. It's not Proverbs 31. Let's see, Proverbs 15. Hold on. Here we go. Proverbs 31. Okay. Proverbs 31. This is the woman providing for her family. Okay. Providing is only for family. Okay. That's what providing is for. Okay. Providing is for family. All right. This is Proverbs 31 and 11. It says, "The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he will have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth up also, yet she rises also. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion of her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard." So providing, she in verse 16, the woman just bought land for her to work the vineyards with. The land is considered providing because she's providing for her family. So Proverbs 31, when you get a chance, read it, and it talks about the woman providing for her family as well. Now, that's the Bible and the providing based on the standards. So, do I require of a woman to provide? Yes, I do. Okay, because I'm not about to be the only provider. Okay, and I'm not striving to be this overall provider where I'm paying everything, and my wife pretty much doesn't have to do anything but receive an allowance, and my children get an allowance, but all of the expenses are my responsibility. I'm not looking to do that over here in Babylon because there's too many setbacks that are interfering with a man being that type of provider. So by the grace of the Most High, God, Yahweh, I will be in a position like that one day, but it would be like Job, or it would be like in Deuteronomy, where the Most High has a lot to do with what I have, the abundance and the assets that I have. Here behind enemy lines in America, the Most High God is not blessing Israel the way we were being blessed historically. Okay, we have not been blessed like we were being blessed in many years. Okay, so getting back to that type of treatment and that type of providing that the Most High God was giving us as the children of Israel, we yearn and pray that we get to that point sooner than later. Okay, because over here behind enemy lines in America with the so-called whites, they've already colonized this land and they control the resources, and we have to work for this paper dollar and copper-coated zinc coins, and in exchange for plastics and silver if you can afford it, and gold if you can afford it, but wealth. Okay, wealth is not the dollar bill. The dollar bill is is a sign of usury and slavery. Okay, slavery to the banks, to the banking systems. Those who say they are Jews but are not control the banking systems. Okay, so it's a scheme. Okay, it's a form of debt control. Okay, so we're going to get into this. All right, get you some cleaner, get you some probiotics. All right, and here goes a couple recipes for some smoothies on the screen. All right, some couple of carrots, an apple, some bell peppers, and ginger root, and some lemon. And then you have the beets, which are very good. I love beets. 3 apples, 4 inches of ginger root, and 2 lemons. Okay, this could be like breakfast, throughout the day. Can't do both. Don't be eating unclean foods and then trying to chase it with a smoothie. So don't be trying to eat a pork chop and chase it with a smoothie. That's just backwards and it defeats the point of even detoxing. So eat clean foods and drink smoothies that are rich in antioxidants and that can benefit your overall health and your wealth. Okay, so that's that. But I wanted to touch on this play that these Western female bums try to go after traditional men and exploit the providing part. Providing is for family, okay? And I encourage men to save themselves from these Western female bums that do not contribute, which is providing. Contributing is providing, okay? Because if I'm running the household, controlling the assets, like as far as I do a lot of electrical work, females don't. I do a lot of mechanical work, females don't. So men have to, first of all, provide for themselves. My provisions are for me first and foremost. Okay, I don't accumulate wealth so that I can give it all away to some female that is sitting back just waiting on all this providing to kick in. I need my provisions more than anybody, so I encourage the men to provide for themselves first and foremost, and provide for what belongs to you. Okay, that could be your children or your wife. Okay, but if these females are not your wife and they have not met the requirements of what's required by the Most High God, then you have to reevaluate that person. That man has to reevaluate the situation, and start keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability, and the Most High God will locate a woman that is evolving spiritually that can complement this man's purpose, right? So that's how it's important. That's the way to really vet these Western females, so that there's a couple of there's more females than there are women over here in the West. So the Most High will locate one of those women for that man who's also keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of his ability, and then he'll match them up. Okay, but all right. So let's go over this playbook again that these Western female bums call providing, okay? And I'm going to come back with some edification. There's a few clips
It
here.
was the responses that I got from breaking up with her from a lot of women. And I realized that she was the one that made me realize that women are totally entitled and lazy. It might appear that women are not lazy because they do the bulk of the housework and all this stuff. It might appear that they're not lazy. But
No, I'm going to clear that up right now. I'm not about to blase through that. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised in the projects and in the hood and ran the streets and stuff. I'm not about to blase by that. Females are lazy. Women aren't. All of the females are. All of the females are lazy. They come, they're lazy. Yes, they are. And I'm sick and tired of females with their own place to stay and their own vehicle, acting like that is providing. The females don't provide with children after they leave the household because what's hers is hers, and these females will raise children in the female's household and will not provide for the children outside of her household. So providing for as men, when men are well off, there's all types of providing that's taking place. All right, outside of what he calls his. All right, that's the difference. All right, and I'm a vouch for that. I'm so sick and tired of these females being accredited as far as being providers when they're doing stuff that they are supposed to do if they're single mothers, okay? But what I'm saying is the children are living off of what is hers, okay? These females do not provide the children with their own outside of what's hers, okay? I've seen the females. They do not provide for children or the men or opposite sexes, right? They do not help or contribute as help meets to these men or these relationships. They don't. These females have their own stuff, and that is not called providing, okay? They can barely provide for themselves. They can barely afford their own lifestyles. Most of them are poor, okay? These females can't afford their own lifestyles. This is why females set up these rules for their lifestyles that men are sponsoring, okay? That's why especially one of the reasons why I call them bums, because they can't support their own lifestyles. Okay? None of their ideas work without some type of male financing it or some program or the government, some agency. They're bums, okay? And they do not provide.
Saying they don't know your mama fucked up, so you gotta make some pay.
Okay, did you hear that? Let's go back to that video.
Saying they don't know your mama fucked up, so you gotta make some pay.
Okay, and I just threw that in there. I just threw that in there just to show that the children of these Eves, these Western females, have to struggle or hit the streets, sell drugs because their single mother was not providing for them after these boys or girls grew up and had to get out on their own and provide for themselves. You know, I'm talking about things that are not things that don't belong to these females. So the females are not paying these children way through college. These children got to go get loans for that. These daughters are moving in with boys at young ages. They don't, they don't provide their daughters with their own place to stay. The boys have to, either stay, live with their mothers longer, or she'll end up kicking them out like Jody mother did. Okay, on some baby boy shit, right? A lot of Jodies run around here, and a lot of females that have not been provided for moving in with men, having sex to pay rent or whatever. To be there, she has to have sex because she's not going to be there not having sex. And then, the children are living with the mothers of the males, and a lot of these males' children are growing up with the grandmothers, and a lot of these males have grown up with their grandmothers because they didn't have their own place. There was no leadership around to show these males how to separate and accumulate their own wealth, right? So I got a clip here, which I forgot to take a picture of this Western female grandmother bum, but I have some audio here. Not this female right here. Not this female. We're going to get back to this saltine. We're going to get back to that saltine right quick. We're going to go over here for a second, and I'm going to leave it on this screen for a second because I did forget to take a screenshot of this female that's on this documentary. I couldn't really use the documentary like I wanted to because I don't want to get a copyright, but I want to let my viewers hear this audio from these Western female grandmother bums. Okay, if you ever get a chance, go watch the Harvest of Shame. Harvest of Shame. HARVEST of Shame. SHAME. Okay, Harvest of Shame from the 1960s. And what you're going to see is a lot of these aunties today grew up picking cotton and working for like $1 a day while they labor throughout the plantations. And then you're going to see the grandmothers that were out there with the daughters, and the daughters was raised up in those fields. And you will see a lot of today's grandmothers come from that era where they were living in poverty and laboring in poverty as well. And they were being transported across the United States to labor for like $1 a day. Okay, and here we are in 2025. You see the aftermath of the 1960s with these aunties and these grandmothers, and they are exhausted from and burnt out from working for less in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s. But the 60s was really still whooping their ass with that cheap labor. And they didn't have housing and everything, but the housing was provided to them by the businessmen. Okay, so listen to this grandmother in this documentary, and what I want to point out in this documentary is she's taking a phone call from her grandson that's in prison, and she raised him. Now, look, this is about providing, okay? These females are not providers. In the West, they are not providers. And you know who suffers? The children. All right? You know what else suffers if it ever gets to that point? A relationship with a man or a husband and the marriage suffers. Dealing with these Western female bums, okay? There's no progress with these female bums. The men, if a man got with one of these Western female bums, she would pretty much be holding him back from success because she wouldn't even be able to contribute or to complement his success. So just listen to these this Chicago grandmother, Western female bum on the phone with her grandson. Just check it out. I want to show how these Western females do a shitty job at providing. They are not the providers over here in the West. Women are providers in marriages and relationships because I've dealt with women before, and they have no problem not watching me or letting me pay everything. They're not going to let that happen, okay? They're going to, let me know that they're here to help if I need them, okay? So check it out. Watch this.
I love you too.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. It's funny how my life ended up on the road to self-destruction. When I was younger, a kid, I should say around the age of 8 or 9 years old, I hated drugs and I hated gangs. I grew up in the house with a mother and an uncle who was addicted to cocaine and heroin. In the midst of all this chaos, you have my grandmother, who I love with all my heart and soul. She kept a roof over my head, designer clothes on my back, and made sure I didn't miss a meal.
Now pause. He said she made sure I didn't miss a meal. I had designer clothes and a roof over my head. Listen to me. That is what she's supposed to do. That is not providing. What's hers is hers. And that property, most of the time, a lot of these children grew up in households where their mothers was renting. So it wasn't hers either. Okay? And
My grandmother provided for me and my sister the best she could. She even did her best to teach me how to be a man.
see that? She provided for me the best she could. I haven't heard no providing yet. Shit. Buying food, clothes, shelter is what she's supposed to be doing. You know how providing. Hold on. I'm jumping the gun. Let me slow down. Let me let this play. Cause let me let.
She told me to stand up for myself, to beat the living shit out of anyone who disrespected me.
She told him to beat the shit out of anyone who disrespected him. This is the crash out crew that are on the front lines today. They're just crashing out left and right over stupid stuff. Over stupid stuff, man. They're not honest. When you ask them what happened, they want to lie. It's look, man. They was on drugs, man. So, providing them with a meal, that's one thing. But that's what they're supposed to be doing. Providing is giving someone something that belongs to them, not you. Because this is while he was living with them. But watch what he's in prison right now. This is after he's not living with them no more. But listen to how these females talk about what they did. Look.
She always tried to keep me away from drugs. And she always said, boy, you see how that shit got your mama, your daddy, your uncle looking like skin and bones? Don't you ever fuck with that shit. And I remember her saying that, them little voices in my head to this day.
His mother used to buy him the designer clothes, and then later on in the documentary, he would say that his mama was hooked on drugs. Do you know how much heroin costs? Heroin is like $200 a gram. Cocaine can be up to like $150 a gram if the addict is willing to cash out that much for that drug. So if his mother was on heroin all these years, she didn't spend all that money on like providing like for him after he was of age. He had to sell drugs after he got a certain age. He had to get out there and sell drugs to provide for himself. Not the food, man. Going over your mama's house or going over to grandmother's house and eating. Look, I can't even talk like I want to because I don't even want to go off. But what I'm saying is, I've seen adults go to their mother's house after they've been homeless in the streets and go get a meal. And that's not even like, that's not providing, man. These guys got to provide for themselves when they leave these single mother households. And they be leaving these households with nothing, man. These women think, these Western females think 18 is grown, okay? And grown to these children, meaning they don't have to listen to adults no more if they don't want to, right? Because there's no leadership taking place. It's just, you're grown, get out of here. And if she got 3 children, she'll say 1 down, 2 to go. And he's just out there working at McDonald's out there paying his rent. She thinks she did something. Or her daughter's out there getting pregnant, got a baby on the way, and she work over there at Wendy's or somewhere. She got to provide for herself. She ain't do nothing for her neither. If these children got to grow up and be indoctrinated into the Western culture and Western societies, celebrating birthdays and holidays and paganisms and all this bullshit, and then they got to go out there and work at McDonald's and Wendy's when they had adults around them that could have put them on to a business, help them start a business. See, these Negroes don't know nothing about starting businesses. I want to point that out with these documentaries as well. They're not talking about the Secretary of State. They're sitting here walking around without no knowledge, okay, with a lack of knowledge. And their children suffer because of these females are not leaders and they don't have no wisdom, okay? Let it keep going. Now listen to what she about to say. Watch this. Or listen to this. Salakia.
Oh, I miss my grandson very much.
Because he's in prison. Now watch what she say. Watch this. Listen to this. Sorry, Salakia.
He's always been in my life. I raised my children by myself with no support. My children and my grandkids.
You know, hey man, you men, get your children. Get your children from these females. Go get your children, man. The simps don't want their children. The Western female bums that hijack the children from these males don't want the males to have the children either. You know, when I sat back and thought about the simps, how easy they have it? You know how I sat back and thought about these so-called deadbeats because I never met one? Never really met a male or a man that that openly said, fuck those children. Yeah, I had them. Yeah, I got her pregnant, but I don't want them damn children, man. You know, I haven't met these guys. When I was in jail, when I was in the streets, when I was in the military, never met these deadbeats who openly said they don't want these damn children. And I'm talking about amongst all the partying and drinking. Never heard no guy openly say fuck them children. Yeah, I get females pregnant and I leave them alone. You know why I never heard that? Because it wasn't the male idea. It was the females. They hijack these children, and the men never really have any input on how these children value systems come out and turn out. They become westernized, believing in all this fucking Santa Claus stuff, birthdays, paganism, white Jesus, that old fake Jesus punk. It's all man, I'm telling you, men, get your children from these females. Your children don't stand a chance without some type of leadership and you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, man. These children are out here crashing the fuck out because these females do a terrible job with providing. Their daughters out here selling sex. Their boys out here selling drugs and jacking people, running around the streets with just aimlessly, okay, crime-ridden communities with fake white Jesus and the religions and single mothers, man. And a bunch of damn crime-infested youth that's crashing out over all types of foolishness and folly. I don't know, maybe it's like this content that's the men put out about these children, go get your children, save yourself from these Western female bums. I'm not sure if this is early, maybe by the time some guy comes across this video, it'll be 5 years from now. But man, the damage has already been done to the children, man. Your daughters learning how to be promiscuous and prostitutes from their aunties and their grandmamas and their mamas. And a lot of these guys don't have no say-so and no influence over these children, man. Once these females get a hold of them and hijack them, your children will never be the same. And you ain't never actually bonded with these children. I'm going to tell a story if it don't take too long, but I'm going to get to this content and show why I'm so why this grinds my gears. Okay, so look, let's keep letting her talk. Listen to this grandmother bum. Listen to her.
That was my choice of taking care of them. That was my choice because
See, single motherhood is a choice. Now, this is why I think it's a bad idea for these Western female bums to choose to drag these children through the poor decisions that these Western female bums decide to see themselves through, okay? Giving the children over to the state, the Western female bum don't even want to do that when the state has a larger budget than she does, and the state can provide these children with a better opportunity future-wise than these Western female bums can. They rather these children suffer and go through what she's suffering from and going through instead of giving these children over to a better opportunity, and they always end up either dead or in jail, or their daughters end up dead or out there as a single mother whose sexuality is unchecked, and then she grows into this disrespectful, modern-day, pathetic-ass Western female bum, okay, who can't afford her lifestyles, can't make no decisions without the state and the agencies, okay? Then she want to go around and put the guys on child support, and we seen this before, okay? Let's keep on going.
I didn't want to see them in the system.
She didn't want to see the children in the system when the system can provide them with a better opportunity and a better future than she can. She was on drugs. She was on cocaine. She was on heroin. The state is not on drugs. The state is not on heroin. Okay, the state can provide after the children are grown. The state can set them up and like set them on a trajectory that's going to be prosperous. Way something greater than what she can provide them with. These Western females are trash, man. This is why I be saying, men, save yourselves from these Western female bums. And I don't say save your children, but I do say go get your children if you know how to, because that's another piece of content that I'm not addressing right now. But this is a loaded conversation. I do know how to shut down these agencies, but I'm not about to do it on this channel. Okay, but let's listen to them, right?
And I did the best I could to shelter them as much as I could, to shelter them.
Shelter them. Listen, keeping these children from stuff but not providing them with stuff is just dumb. These females are poor in thought, man. They're poor, man. A lot of these males today are going through this. Growing up with these females, I wasn't raised by these females, so I have a lot to say against it, all right? And I do see the turnout of these children after they've, grown up around these single mothers. My mother didn't try to be a single mother. Okay, she didn't even try to do it when her and my father weren't together, and I'm so glad she didn't try to do it, because I would not have turned out the way I turned out right now in survival mode and knowing what to do. Okay, a lot of these males turn out to be simps and suckers because they grew up around a pride of females. All right, and the males that were there, they were strung out, bunch of Norbit ass niggas. You know what I mean? With no leadership. So let's keep on listening to this, all right? Now look, she's coming home and she's about to run into the mother of the grandson, and this is the grandmother's daughter, right? Listen to how these females struggle with accountability of how this son ended up a drug dealer, and then he ended up ultimately in prison. Look.
I am very much surprised with this. Very much surprised. And I'm also disappointed in him being in jail because, as a grandparents, we don't choose these things for our children or our grandkids.
See how they don't know how to prevent it? See how they don't know how to prevent it? And this is why on one of my videos with the SpongeBob thumbnail is black people are victims of their own excuses. Okay? Now this grandmother got excuses, we didn't raise him like that and blah 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 blah. Okay, what y'all didn't provide neither. If I got my children, they don't have to go out there and sell drugs because I'm looking out. I'm gonna help them start a business if they need some extra cash, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna help them set up their uniform for their business. I'm gonna help them register it. I'm gonna help them set up a trust. I'm gonna get them a trademark. I'm gonna get them a service mark. I'm gonna help them with all of that. All right? That's called leadership, homie. And this video, man, one thing about the military, it taught me if you're telling somebody what they can't do, then you got to tell them what they can do. Okay, you can't just go, blow down on somebody and say, hey, stop that, when you're not giving them something else to do. Okay, so they're full of excuses, man. All right, them drugs, man, took over. They was getting high. If I could show you the mother, I should have took a picture of these damn females because they look terrible, man. The grandmother hair not done, you know what I'm saying? Look like she need a new relaxer, look like she need a stylist. Her daughter is on drugs, still haven't rehabilitated. Her hair looks, strung out too. Need a flat iron, need a whole new Mazzani texturizer, something. Okay, they need to switch it up because they just look strung out while they're speaking so highly about what they did for these children while the children were with them. And these women these children grew up off of what belonged to the women, or the females rather. These are not women, these are females. These are female bums too. Okay, these are former drug addicts. The mother, not the grandmother, but the mother, if I can show you, and I'm gonna give the name of this documentary towards the end. I might leave it in the description as well. Okay, but I'm gonna let this finish right quick because I gotta hurry up and get through this. Look.
He wasn't raised like this here. I punched the time clock. My grandparents and my mother, they taught me to punch the time clock, and I tried to instill this in my kids. You have to work for
those. Okay.
What you get.
But see, this is the grandmother now. She's the leader of this female pride. And a lot of so-called blacks do this. They grow up around these females and they be like, yeah, my grandmother stayed on the street. Yeah, my mama grew up over there. My mama over here. Even gangbangers be like, who you know over here? Where your mama from? Where your mama at? Where your grandmother live at? They, where you from and all that, blowing down on each other, set tripping. It's all about their mamas. That's on my mama. I put that on my mama. These grandmothers were the backbones of these, I don't want to say families, but I'm gonna just say these, this female pride thing going on. It was the grandmother, the mother, and the daughters. And the daughters and the mothers saw the grandmother being the backbone without a husband. There is no husband. There's no man in sight. This is just a grandmother with a raggedy hairstyle and the daughter who has this mop top on. She's overweight. She has a child. She smokes cigarettes. And then you got this mother of the son that is in prison. And she's sitting over here looking like she's still high off something. And she's struggling with accountability. Okay? This grandmother's going to say something that makes sense. But then when it starts to get boiled down to whose fault it is, the accountability dodging is it's just, you can't make this up, man. These Western females dodge accountability, bro. You do not want to deal with these females, okay? Now look, we're talking about providing, so let's stick around. Listen.
I don't know what went wrong. I think the peer pressure,
She don't know what went wrong. She's talking about the grandson. We're talking about providing. This is a documentary where a grandmother is speaking about the grandson in prison, and then the mother's here, and they're going to jump to another guy that was in the crack house selling drugs, and his mother didn't provide for him neither. And what does she do? She wound up remarrying another man, and listen to what this man that is not his father has to say to him. And there's no providing, okay? This is the outcome. This is the outcome of these children that struggle with that don't have no leadership, and they don't know what to do after being, raised and groomed by these Western female bums. All right, the old ones and the young ones. Let's go.
Getting involved with the wrong type of people. I think that's where it came from. You know, you want to follow the leader, see what it do, what you see every.
Okay, what's the matter with a boy following a leader if he needs leadership? So what I'm saying is, what I'm pointing out is that the way these children turn out, prison, the daughters, jail, deleted, or single mother, the daughters, okay, the way they turn out, guess who the mothers blame? They blame the children. Because these Western female bums, they swear they did an awesome job by maintaining these children, because they didn't really raise them, they maintained them, okay? Maintaining them. And then after the maintaining is over, they want you to get out because you're grown. Especially the men, the boys, when they get out, you got to get out because the boys start trying to run shit, and then they got to remind them, like Jody. Remember, Jody was trying to run shit, and then his mama had to remind him, this is my shit. Okay, if I want to have a man all up and through here, I'll have a man all up and through here, you know? And he was like, this ain't your house. This is Big Mama house. Because nobody provided. She didn't provide Jody with nothing. She didn't help him get his own. He didn't even have his own car. The dude was like riding a bicycle, and he had children. Okay? If it wasn't for wasn't for his one baby mama having a vehicle, dude would have been riding that little bike around town, man, with children and everything. He wasn't doing nothing, man. He was struggling, bro. Right? Let's go.
Everybody else do. This is how I feel as a grandparent.
They're blaming. She's blaming the boy. She's blaming Jake for how he ended up in prison. These females were not providing him with anything of his own. He needed his own. So selling heroin and making that kind of money so that he can press fast forward, he feel like he got to do what he got to do because he's grown and he can't start no family. You remember, like, over here behind enemy lines, it's hard to do all of this stuff if nobody gave you a head start, man. Every generation feel like they're the first generation because nobody's providing for them. You got OnlyFans, you got strip clubs, you got drugs, you got prostitution, you have low-level prostituting with dating and stuff. You know, these females are bums. They can't afford nothing because they wasn't provided for either. So it's just a scam. I done met a lot of so-called Black, Latino, Native American men and women in the streets, and the only reason they were in the streets is because they weren't provided for. A lot of us meet each other when we hustling and shaking and baking and moving and grooving in the streets because nobody provided for us and we providing for ourselves. Okay, as if we're the first generation over to be here, right? Which it sucks. Okay, because these parents they don't do a good job with providing anymore. I know, you know, some of my brothers living with their mamas, and I don't even have that. Okay, my parents are deceased. Okay, I don't even have that. I'm out here on my own. I don't have no relatives or family in the state that I'm in right now. So everything that I do is for me, okay? I'm not providing for no strange females that are not my wives, plural, okay? I don't do nothing. I do nothing for these Western females. I see them broke down on the side of the road, I keep going. I'm not no simp trying to rescue no damsel in distress. All right? Not about to fall victim to no female on the side of the road trying to set me up. Mess around and get hit over the head and wake up and my car gone and I'm sitting over there on the side of the road with this broken vehicle. So nah, man. You know, so no, we're not doing this. Look.
You know, and I'm hoping that he'll get through this. He'll get through this.
I've been using drugs.
Listen to his mother. She said, I wonder if it's my fault. Now, this is the mother talking right now. Grandmother, she just spoke. Now listen to the mother. This is the mother. Listen to what she say. Watch the accountability and watch what the daughter does after this. Watch this. Watch this.
You know, he never seen me get high or anything like that. But as a parent getting high, I wonder, is it my fault?
Hey man, I wish I would have took pictures of this. I wish I would have took pictures of this. I so wish I would have took pictures of this. I'm gonna put the documentary in the description box, because the mother is she's trying to be accountable. And then look how long it takes the Western female to hold herself accountable. Soon as she said that, I wish I can show the picture of her daughter's face after she said that. Her daughter is looking like, how's it your fault? That ain't your fault. I wanna point something out here, man. Let's just watch this.
I really feel guilty about this. You know, did I start this? Did I start him? You know, even not saying bringing it around him, but just the idea of me doing it.
Yes, because while you was getting high, he needed provisions. First of all, he should have been with the state, but he shouldn't have been with you, females. Your mama was getting high. Your mama swears she did a good job with you. And you on drugs. She's on drugs. We just heard the grandmother say earlier that she instilled jobs and working in these children. It's not about jobs. Jobs is not going to save so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in America. Jobs is not going to save our people. We can cut that out. We need salvation. We need sovereignty. We need wealth. Okay, we need assets. Okay, in abundance. Okay, we need to get back to thinking like a nation. These old individuals do not have the answers. Okay? She getting high, and she never thought about the effects of her being high and not providing what the effects of her getting high and not providing has on her son. And then he hit the drug house and started selling crack and heroin so he can provide for himself, man. He should have made his money and got out the way, but the money was looking so good and he was able to sit on some of that money that he never had coming from these females' households. He was like, shoot, I could probably keep on going. But then it was, he went down, okay? These females are sitting back struggling with accountability, and it's taken them a long time to realize that they had a lot to do with how he turned out. Look.
Am I the cause of this?
Isn't the fact it has.
Now, she's saying, am I the cause of this? And the daughter is over there shaking her head and rolling her eyes because she's dodging accountability. They blame the children for how the children turned out because these females swear that maintaining children is the same as providing. The Western female, the so-called black woman, she does not provide. She can't afford it. She can't afford to provide, man. Paying these children way through college, getting the son his first car, getting the daughter their first car, helping them with their property, helping them purchase land. If I had my children, man, the way land is, how much land costs $9,000 for like a 0.2 of an acre, man, I'll go grab that, man, and give it to my son, homie. I'll go grab some acres and give it to my daughter, homie. I'll walk them through the steps of how to get on their feet. I'm not about to abandon them and say, y'all grown now. Grown to these children coming out of the mouths of these females mean get out of my house. I'm not, sponsoring your more, and you don't have to listen to adults like that no more. That's what that means. It's like a female saying she's independent and she got a 9-to-5. She got a boss, but she's independent of a man's leadership, okay? She's making her own decisions, Okay, she don't look at a man for his leadership, and she don't need his structure, and she don't need no man coming around putting boundaries on her, telling her she got to be in the house at a certain time and blase skip, and she can't wear this and wear that and do this and do that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Independence and telling a child they're grown is the same thing to these females and to these children. The men don't stand a chance with these children. You try to sow a seed, a righteous seed, and the children are going to go around these females, and the females are going to unsow that seed. Okay, look.
It has an effect on your children. It has an effect on your children because it also has an effect on me as a parent.
See that? Now the grandmother said something, dropped a jewel on this female, and they're still going to dodge accountability after the grandmother said what she said. The grandmother got a little bit of sense left in her, just a smidget, okay? But the daughter, though, the granddaughter of the grandmother is sitting in front of her. There's a grandmother right here, the daughter, and the granddaughter. The granddaughter looks like she's about 28 years old, okay? And she's about to sabotage this little bit of wisdom that they have left. Just listen, what?
So I'm sure it has an effect on him. I'm very disappointed in you all too. And
Bam. Now that's accountability. Finally, somebody say disappointed. Now, the grandmother says disappointed. The daughter of the grandmother has a look on her face like she's finally, thinking about this for the first time because she's been getting high, fornicating and doing all kind of tricks for drugs, okay? So she's over here looking all burnt out and fried. And then you got the granddaughter over here who was about to ruin this little bit of wisdom that just trickled out of her grandmother's mouth. Watch, now just listen to this.
I speak frankly.
All right, but I've tremendously slowed down. I haven't had any heroin in 2 months. I had started back because I got depressed again. I really think about this all the time. Am I the reason for this? I'm doing this. I mean, I could be.
Here go the daughter. The mother is over here struggling with accountability, and she was, trying to work out her accountability. Here comes the daughter. Listen to the daughter. Listen to how her daughter is about to reinforce the lost value system. Listen to this. Shout out to Crimson Cure, but listen to this.
Influence. It could be all my fault still. It could be my yes, it could be all my fault. It could still be my fault.
You hear the daughter? I'm not gonna let you take the blame. Let me play this back, man. It's when an argument starts, when the child won't shut up and let these adults work this out. Soon as these adults started taking accountability for the way the children turned out, the daughter chimed in and said, I'm not going to let you take the blame. Who else is the blame, man? They have the children 100% of the time. Who else is the fucking blame? Okay, this is why I despise the Western female. She is a fucking bum, okay? I don't want nothing to do with these Western females, man. If they fell off the planet, the face of the earth today, I would not miss these females. I can't wait till the world is purged of Edomites and this unlawful ass kingdom and these Western female bums. The world would be a better place without these females and without the so-called white race. Just listen to this. Listen to this daughter tell her mother, I'm not going to let you take the blame. Who else is the blame if it's not you females who have the children 100% of the time? This is why I say they're not providers. They're not leaders. They will never be leaders. They will never be leaders. Women are not leaders. Females are not leaders. They can lead amongst each other, but as far as men, never be leaders. Females are never mine. I don't have to answer to no woman or no female, okay? I got to answer to the Most High God, Yahweh, Wah, Yahweh Shai.
You know, even not saying bringing it around him, but just the idea of me doing it. Am I the cause of this?
Yes, because you didn't provide. You provided drugs for yourself, but you didn't provide a future for your child. And the daughter, she don't see it. She cutting her eyes at her mother like, no, that ain't your fault. That like got her blood boiling because she's a single mother, the daughter is. So she don't want to blame herself for her baby daddy not sticking around and why her child gonna grow up without being provided for as well, man. Single mothers raise single mothers, man. All right, and single women keep women single. Okay. Let me hurry up so I can probably get to the little tail end of my story, but I gotta make a run here in about 25 minutes. But I gotta hurry this up. So let me let this finish. But keep on listening. Hopefully somebody's being edified. This is a beak with some content. This the title of this is gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be based around provider. But I think it's going to be something like, I don't know, traditional men do not desire modern women or something. I'm not sure yet, but let me continue real quick.
It's an effect. It has an effect on your children.
The grandmother is dropping a jewel, and the granddaughter is shaking her head, saying, no, I am not about to blame myself for how these children turned out when this male got me pregnant and left me with this child. See, she want to blame this male so bad, the granddaughter. And this is why the Western female cannot prevent single motherhood without blaming the men. They cannot even avoid single motherhood. They can't even give a way or a reason that they can prevent single motherhood without blaming the male. If they can't blame men or males, then they can't justify what they're doing, okay? Whenever it's time for them to take accountability, they dodge it, look.
It has an effect on your children because it also has an effect on me as a parent. So I'm sure it has an effect on them. I'm very disappointed in you all too, and I speak frankly.
All right, but I've tremendously slowed down. I haven't had any heroin in 2 months. I had started back because I got depressed again. I really think about this all the time.
The daughter over here smoking a square when the grandmother and the mother's over here taking accountability. She's shaking her head because she don't want to blame herself for being a single mother. When they don't know that it's their behavior, it's their value system, and they pass that down to these children. And men don't stand a chance. Men and males do not stand a chance on raising these children. I've seen males raise their children or have some input into their children, but they're just as damaging as these females because the simps act just like these females. Simps and females are the same because the simps were raised by these female bums. So the simps are just like them. They're just male versions of these females. Male versions of the female bums.
Am I the reason for this? I'm doing this.
I mean,
I could be.
an influence.
It could be all my fault still. It could be yes, it could be.
She said you had it, and the daughter's trying to soften the blow and say you've maybe influenced, you've had some influence, but I don't think it's your fault. And she's like, nuh-uh. When her mama keep trying to take accountability, the daughter's like, nuh-uh. This is why the Western female, especially the black female bum, is undesirable and off limits. And this is why I be telling the fellas, save yourselves from these Western females, man. I'm not sure if these men sat around enough to listen to these females talk and murmur and how they express their disdain and how they always express their unaccountability in these instances. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the Western man. I don't know. These guys over here in the Western America, they're not really They don't really fit the bill. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was the females at first, but then I started concentrating on the men because it's ultimately the man's fault that these situations are the way they are with the, having children or getting these females pregnant or interacting with these females, entertaining them, right? Sponsoring these outings and events and lifestyles of these females. That's not the female's fault that these fellas decide to be simps. If they were raised by these females and they got to break that spell that their female mother put on them about being a simp, then I can see that. They need to work on breaking that spell. But these females right here, it's a lot of these females. There's a larger group of these females. I told you there's very few women over here in the West. There's a lot of females over here, and they're bums. And they do not value family, marriage, or their purpose, right? As a helpmeet, all right? They're not a Proverbs 31 woman, okay? So let's go.
It could be all my fault. It could still be my fault.
Even though you and Dad did everything, me and my trust still respect you.
Now watch this shit right here. This is why I didn't like that Tupac dude. Even though you was a crack fiend mama, you always was a black queen mama. I don't want no black queen. I don't want no black queen. I do not want or desire a black queen. I want no funky ass black queen, okay, who's struggling with her purpose, okay, who gonna fuck around and relapse and go back to being worldly. Okay, I don't want no black queen. I want an Israelite queen. I want a daughter of Zion. Okay? I want no damn black queen. Anything black, I don't want nothing black. I don't want to be around no female acting black. I don't want to be around no Negroes acting black. I don't want to be around nobody acting black. I'm not black. I don't act black. I don't do nothing black. I ain't black. Okay, me and black people don't get along. Let's put it like that. I don't fuck with black people. Black people have no culture. And they come from mothers like these. My mother wasn't black. My daddy wasn't black. They didn't act black. We didn't do all this niggerish shit. Fucking failures, man. A flock of failures. That's what black people are, a flock of failures. They don't keep the law, statutes, commandments. They don't call themselves Hebrew Israelites. These black people, hell no, black people were raised by white people. These niggas ain't left the plantation. They don't even know how to think themselves out of a wet paper bag, man. They're a product of their own excuses, man. Let me hurry up.
Just the idea of me doing it. Am I the cause of this?
It's an effect. It has an effect on your children. It has an effect.
You know what's taking them so long to hold accountability? Because they don't admit that they're not providers. They still they still playing around thinking that they did something incredible when they really did what they were supposed to do, feeding them and buying clothes and all of that. That didn't keep him out of jail. You know what had kept him out of jail? Is if he had leadership and provisions, okay? Something that these females do not express. They do not openly say, we're not the leaders, we're not the providers, we do a terrible job at that. These children don't stand a chance with us if we trying to do it by ourselves, you know? Then this is what the grandmother was saying. I couldn't see my children going through the system. They was better off in the system because now they're on drugs because they went without being provided for and they suffered under this lost value system of these Western female bum-ass mothers.
Effect on your children because it also had an effect on me as a parent. So I'm sure it has an effect on them. I'm very disappointed in you all too, and you know I speak frankly.
All right, but I've tremendously slowed down. I haven't had any heroin in 2 months. I had started back because I got deep.
Watch the daughter. Listen to the daughter.
I really think about this all the time. Am I the reason for this? Him doing this?
I mean, you.
I could be.
Had an influence.
It could be all my fault still. It could be my, yes, it could be all my, it could be all my fault.
I'm not gonna let you take the blame for yourself.
It could still be my fault.
Now watch this shit right here, and I'm about to end it right here because she about to. I can't hear this too many times, man. This daughter, man, I can't hear what she about to say too many times, man. Watch what she about to say though. Check this shit out.
Even though you and Dad did everything, me and Montreal still respect you.
Even though you and Dad did everything, she's talking about drugs. Even though you and Dad did drugs, listen to what she about to say.
Never embarrassed. Walk down the street. This is my mama. Walking down the street. This is my daddy. Because even though y'all did drugs, you were a good parent. You did us good. You didn't beat us. We didn't get raped. You didn't take us to no drug houses. You ain't never leave us, abandon us. So don't feel bad. Yeah, you know, you hurt us. But you ain't never did shit to us like, you know, people could say my mama did this to me.
That's, listen, man. Your mama is a damn drug addict. You don't need to be pampering her. Judge Mathis talked about tough love. Not holding your parents accountable is bullshit. Even though you didn't take us to drug houses and we wasn't assaulted sexually and all of this kind of stuff. That's not a, they don't get no brownie points for that stuff. That's what they were supposed to do. None of that stuff she listed was supposed to happen. She still don't understand providing. These females don't understand providing. All of a sudden, when men show up, they understand providing. They don't understand providing, and they don't understand that they're not the providers. And when they don't provide and children grow up without provisions and being provided for, they turn out to be the worst cases of themselves, or they start off with a lot of setbacks because they're coming out of a piss poor environment with these single mothers, for example. This is a prime example. And she's trying to soften the blow on her mother. Her mother's a crackhead. She pretty much, her mother's sitting over here thinking, at first her mother was about to start crying because she was over there holding herself accountable. The daughter is telling her, no, don't blame yourself. You know what that's going to do for the mother? Encourage her to go out there and get high. Because at first she thought she was doing something wrong. But now the daughter making it seem like getting high, okay, so what? Y'all was getting high. But this and that and this and that and this and that didn't happen to us. So the mother's sitting there thinking like, okay, because she's been getting high too long, her mother like she probably in her late 40s now. And then here goes his daughter in her late 20s. And she's trying to her mother's starting to think about whether she has something to do with her son ending up in prison. And this woman over here talking about No, you probably had some influence, but you didn't, it ain't your fault. It is her fault. She made decisions, but let's go ahead.
Or my mama let this man rape me because, she was off drugs and didn't know.
The grandmother is sitting there like, if you don't shut your stupid ass up, because the grandmother said what she said. Give me just a minute. The grandmother said what she said, and the granddaughter come behind her saying what she's saying, and just messed up the whole accountability, man. Let me get into this next clip, man, and we got to end this real quick, and I might be able to tell a quick story real quick before I get up out of here. Now let's listen to this old saltine Edomite and watch what she got to say.
Saying they don't know your. Saying they don't. 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 Saying they don't.
don't know if it's gonna play. Let me see. Let me see. Here, this is what I'm gonna do.
Saying, damn.
I'm gonna leave her on the screen right quick. Pause this for a second. Give me one second. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Let me go here. 1 second. If you made it this far, I want to say thank you for making it this far. Let me see. Hold up. Looking for something real quick because I recorded it, but it didn't want to play. Okay. All right. Now this is her, and I'm gonna play this real quick. So hold on, give me 1 second.
Pay, or if not, pay for it.
Let me see. Let's go back to this. It's Edomite. Okay, now this is her. I'm gonna let this play on my computer, but this is what she's saying. Listen to this.
Sit you down and tell you that men are...
Hold up. Watch this. Well, listen to this. Damn, can I just play the damn video?
When did men stop tricking on women? At what point did somebody sit you down and tell you that men are the prize? That men are supposed to get princess treatment? Who sat you down and told you that? Who sat you down and told you that it's lame to want to provide for a woman? It's lame to want to please her.
Drizzle.
You know who sat men down? The Most High God sat men down. Okay? That's these Western females are looking for simps and tricks. Okay? And they're not even divine. All right? Save yourselves from these Western female bums over here, whether they're Edomites, so-called white, doesn't matter their ethnicity. Save yourselves from these Western female bums, okay? And hopefully this content has been edifying. I want to I can't even tell the story that I was thinking to tell at the tail end of this, because I got to get going. But the providing has always been for a family, and the females, or the women and the men, both provided for the family. But the ultimate provider, in order to say I'm blessed, comes from the Most High God. Okay? Being blessed is actually being in connection with the Most High God, and the Most High God providing the blessings to the individual man, and the family that he has benefits off of the blessing. And the providing comes from his energy, his love, and his duty. Okay, but the duty of being a provider is only preserved for family, marriage. I would not get married contractually over here in the West to any of these females. But you see it for yourself that these females are not valuing marriage and don't value their purpose biblically. All right? You're not supposed to marry outside your race anyway. That's a sin. And then trying to locate some type of woman amongst all of these females over here in the West is going to be a struggle in itself. All right, men, save yourselves from these Western female bums. Get your child or children if you can. It's going to be like pulling teeth and nails with these females. They do not want you to have your own children. Okay, so if you haven't even kicked off that war, then you need to really take a shot at that war and getting your children. A lot of guys feel like they don't really have to have their children because the females traditionally keep the children from the men. The men don't even have a conversation with these females about why she has the children 100% of the time and why the children live with her and don't live with the father. And the men don't even. I mean, the Western average guy, this doesn't even dawn on him. Then when somebody like myself starts talking about it, they be like, "Oh man," you know what I'm saying? They got all kind of excuses. But give me 1 second. 1 second. Hello. I'll be there in a minute. I'm about to leave. Yeah, I'm gonna call you in a minute. All right. All right. Yeah, I gotta get going. But hopefully this has been edifying. Okay. I'm not a fan of the West. I'm not a fan of America. I'm un-American. All right. I'm un-American, and I don't identify as black. And I don't really rock with black people. I rock with Hebrew Israelites. Black people are not my brethren or my sisters. Those who keep the law, statutes, and commandments are my brethren and my family. Okay, but hopefully it's been edifying. This has been a beak with another edification about providing. Providing is for men. Okay, we need our own provisions first. So you need to provide for yourself first and foremost, and do not ever provide for these Western female bums. Only provide for a woman if she's already your wife. Okay? These females over here don't even stick around their fathers to give them away. A lot of these guys are finding females and coming across the opposite sexes, and their fathers are not even involved in these females' lives. You'll never meet her father. They're not virgins. You're not even getting a daughter from her father. Okay, these females don't even they despise their fathers because their fathers wised up and decided to walk away from these female bums. Her mother was probably a damn bum. And if they weren't on drugs like these guys in the 70s and the 80s and stuff like that, where the crack epidemic and the heroin epidemic, then again, it's just terrible right now to think that you can have a family over here in the West with one of these females. I wish for a time where we can choose a wife, like literally choose a wife. Hey, you, yeah, I want you to be my wife. You could choose a wife. You can't choose your wife over here, okay? And again, the Western female don't value family, marriage, virginity, youth. They don't value these kind of things that are important. They don't value providing for their family. They don't even value that. The woman that I'm dealing with provides. Okay, I'm not trying to be this all-around provider and everything is everything because of me and all of that. No. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. So, again, hopefully this has been edifying. If you haven't already subscribed, feel free to subscribe. I want to wish all of my subscribers high health and high spirits. I want to say shalom. I want to wish all my subscribers that I wish that all of your loved ones are safe and in high health, and I wish that you are taking the proper precautions against these agendas that are waged against us here behind enemy lines in America. I might do a providing part 2 because I didn't really have the pictures to go along with the content, but hopefully it was still edifying to somebody. So with that said, I want to say shalom, and I'm not sure what the next one's going to be about, but I found the Simple Olympics Part 3. So yeah, I got somebody for the Simple Olympics Part 3. So yeah, this is January 16th, and we're not quite in the new year yet, but the heathens and the Gentiles, they've already celebrated they've already celebrated the wrong holiday, but enough of that. On to the next. Shalom.